It is time to expand minds through movies, TV, sports, and flicks. It is time to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. It is time for the Captain Talks Flicks.
The Captain Talk Flicks.
Welcome to the Captain Talks Flicks podcast. I'm your host, the Captain Cortez, aka Mr. Love, and this is where we talk flicks. I welcome the podcast where me, the Captain, talks about movies, TV, sports, flicks, anything you can see on a two-word screen. I like to get on here and give my unique perspective, because after 47 years of being on planet Earth, I've developed a new perspective about these movies, TV, sports, and flicks, and I like to guarantee about it. Because just maybe you care. And according to the stats, it looks like you do care. I want to give a big shout out to Guatemala. Got some plays over in Guatemala this past week. Gracias, gratitude, todo va. In Guatemala, I just got done having a nice hot cup of organic Guatemalan coffee. It was so good. The coffee you guys have over there is absolutely magnificent. I was drinking it. It tasted so delicious. Listen, hot. Thank you very much for the coffee from your wonderful land. And one of these days, I'm going to have to fly over to Guatemala and have a freshly brewed cup of Guatemalan coffee right in your land. So thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Gracias, gratitude. And just FYI, back in the day with school radio DJ, but never got a job. I think I never got a job because I just didn't have enough coffee. If I would have drank more coffee, then maybe that would enable me to become a radio DJ. But it didn't. It allowed me to become the greatest podcaster in the Matrix. Something to debate. Might be true, might not be true. But I said it on the internet, so it's gotta be true, right? Because everything on the internet is facts, not facts, true, false, propaganda, fake news, the Matrix, TV, internet, typewriters, pens, papers. I don't know. I didn't make the internet. Ask the people that made the internet. So when you're lying, just beware, just watch out. Anyways, it can rain, be hard, they won't. Let's get right to the podcast. But first, a word from our sponsor. Ladies and gentlemen, sometimes I rap, and back on Christmas of 2023, 12/25/23, I rapped again. I dropped the album called The Code of Superhuman Artistry. It's an 8-track album with me rapping in my spacey, sci-fi, experimental spoken word way, motivational, inspirational, empowering ideas, thoughts, right? So if you want to hear an album which is absolutely unexplainable, check it out and hear my crazy, experimental, artsy, avant-garde album, The Code of Superhuman Artistry. I'll put a link below. Check it out. Now, let's get on with the podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, I am back again. And we're getting close to the end of the year. We're very close. A few more days, it'll be 2024. You know what? This year went very quickly. I remember we just entered 2023 not too long ago. It seemed like yesterday. And here we are, fast forward to the end of the year. Right here. About to be over. Another one in the books. Level 47 for me is about to be over. About to enter level 48. The clock is moving. Time is moving fast. Did you get a lot done this year? I hope you did. I hope you grown, did more, improved, had fun, shared laughs, love. Hope you did that. So, yeah, a couple more episodes left, and we're going to be in 2024. But right now, we are currently in 2023. And this week, I got to go back to a place I like to go to. You know where I was going? I was going down to South Park. Yeah, I went to South Park. Again, I go there periodically. Periodically, they drop new shows and movies, whatever, and I go there. It's always a good time. South Park is an absolutely great, wonderful show. And this week, I got to see South Park, Not Suitable for Children. But before I get into that, a couple things. First of all, there will be spoilers. And second of all, I do own some shares in the parent company of Paramount Plus. I just want to be clear and transparent to let you know. Now that I told you that, let's get into South Park, not suitable for children. Ladies and gentlemen, this particular episode or special of South Park dives into more current topics. They're always touching the current topics. This time they dive into sport drinks and OnlyFans and giving their unique commentary on those things. But they're always giving commentary on current society. That's why I like the show so much. They kind of just tell the truth a lot of times. And so this episode, they dissected sport drinks and OnlyFans. So I'm just going to get right into it. It was funny. It was comedic. They did a lot of interesting things with that. But I want to go ahead and talk about those subjects myself, right? So as I saw the episode and I'm watching it and they're talking about it, a lot of things started turning into my mind. I started thinking about different things because in the episode of South Park, a teacher at the South Park school has an OnlyFans account. And there was controversy. They had a little meeting about it. And they fired her, or she got suspended or whatever. And this kind of thing happens in the real world all the time. And I was thinking is that right? Some people say it is, some people say it's not. I really have no opinion because I'm not in the school system. I have no kids. So none of that really has anything to do with me directly. I don't know what to think about it. Part of me thinks that, when you're outside of your job, whatever your job may be, maybe you're a teacher, maybe work for the mail, or maybe work fast food, whatever you work for, whatever your job is, whatever you do at your job, whatever it is, you do what you do there. But when you get home to your personal space, your casa, your apartment, your temple, your pyramid, your bus, your car, wherever you live, whatever you live in, once you get there, when you're on your own time, you kind of should be able to do what you want. I mean, part of me thinks that. I don't know. These are very complex issues that did not exist 20, 30 years ago. This is all brand new. But this kind of thing's going to continue to go on. So we got to figure something out, right? I don't know what the answer is. All these internet problems are all just new problems that just did not exist, like I said a minute ago. Back when I was in school, I was in college, or I was even younger than that, these kind of things were nothing to be worried about. You didn't have to think about what's an internet? I know what that even is. It didn't even exist. Wasn't a problem. All these internet things, social media things are all brand new problems, and all these people have to deal with it. Kids have to deal with it. The adults have to deal with it. People have to deal with it. Society has to deal with it. It's all new problems that we have no answers to because we're still just figuring it out. There's so many complications that come with this new technology that we just weren't ready for when the technology came out. And so we'll put the technology out first, we'll figure out the problems later. We'll figure it out as we go along, right? But we're still dealing with this. These OnlyFans, all these things been going on for a while. We're trying to figure it out. It's like the young people will see this. You can't be doing it because young people see it. Yeah, but back in my day, before the internet, when I was going to school, I was around a lot of kids. And some of these kids would drink alcohol, smoke cigarettes, right? Which I'm saying, if you're young out there, don't do it. Just say no, like Nancy Reagan says. Don't drink alcohol. Don't smoke cigarettes. Don't do it. It's horrible. Don't mess with it. Just say no. But when I was young, some of these bad kids would do that, right? Well, how are they doing that? They can't go to the store and buy it. I mean, how are they doing it? Because kids always figure a way out somehow. I've seen it over and over again at schools I went to. Over and over again, I see kids figuring out how to do things they're not supposed to do. Somehow they figure it out. You can put all these laws and all these rules and all this, but somehow they still figuring it out. It's amazing what these kids would do when I went to school with them. And how they figure all this out. I don't know. Somehow they magically figured it out. All these things are not supposed to be having access to. They figured it out somehow, right? So I don't know banning things, how well that's going to work. I think with things in general, with kids, adults, all human beings, it all starts in the mindset. Everything's in the mind. That you have to change the mindset of them wanting to do whatever it is for everybody, not just young people or old people, it's everybody. If people are doing things that you're not supposed to or bad things, you have to switch the mentality of wanting to do that. That's the key. You can make all these rules and regulations, but I just don't feel that's like a band-aid on it. You have to change the mentality, right? And that's gonna move me to what I want to talk to you about next. So also in the show, they talked about these influencers peddling sport drinks that were bad for young people, and just influencers in general peddling ideas that are bad for young people. And that aligns right with mindset, right? So, what are these young people intaking? Because whatever they're intaking is going to shape their mind. Not just young people, but all people. I say in this podcast all the time, what you intake in your eyes and ears is going to shape your thoughts, it's going to shape your actions. It applies to everybody. I mean, me, you, old people, young people, male, female, different countries. It does not matter, bro. What you consume with your eyes and ears is going to dictate your thoughts and your actions, right? So in the show, you see these influencers or influence these kids to drink drinks, which is not good because these drinks are not good for them apparently. And these drinks they're talking about in the show, there's some in real life, and I had heard some issues about some of these drinks not being healthy for young people. To be honest, they're not healthy for old people. To be honest, it's not just drinks. There's a lot of foods you can buy at stores that are just not the best thing to be eating or drinking. There's a lot. I know they focus on sports drinks, but there's a whole other things you can list there. A whole bunch, right? And it's just like, what seeds are getting planted into people's minds? If you're an influencer, what seeds are you planting? And a lot of these young people are looking to influencers for guidance, right? Because maybe they don't have parents to guide them, or their parents' guidance is not strong enough, or the community's guidance is not strong enough. So they look at these, famous influencer internet people for guidance. So if you are one of these internet people and you're spitting out and sharing information, what are you sharing? Now, on these podcasts, I say a lot. What do you take in your mind? What are you looking at? What you paying attention? What do you focus on? What's your attention? But one thing I don't talk about is that if you're somebody that produces art content, some kind of influencer, and putting stuff out in the universe, are you mindful of what you're putting out there? Are you mindful of what's going out there? Are you mindful of how people might receive these things you're putting out, right? You have to assume that anybody and everybody is going to see this, even young people. I'm making it for adults. Young people might see it. So what are you putting out? Are you going to put out things that are going to empower them, uplift them, and guide them to positive places? Or are you putting out trash? Now, you got to do what you got to do. You got to make a living and your income any way you see fit. No judgment, bro. You got to live how you live. But when you're putting out whatever you put out, is this something that your mom would be proud of? Your grandma would be proud of? Your grandfather, right? Your aunts and uncles, would they be proud of you doing this, right? When you lay down at night in your bed and you sleep, and you said, I put this content out or art out, I did all whatever I'm putting out, can you go to bed sounding like, bro, I'm very proud of what I put out. My mom would be proud of me. If I had kids, they'd be proud of me. My kids would be proud of me. My nephews would be proud of me. Like this is a very good thing to put out. And, and you got to do whatever you got to do. But these young people are going to turn into adults, and they're going to be dictating and guiding society. What kind of society do you want to live in, right? Because once they take over, once we hand them over the keys, whatever we've been inputting into their minds is how they're going to steer the ship, right? Know that. You're going to be old someday, and these young people will be taking over. You've been programming their minds for months and years with information. What do you program the future captains of society? The ones that are going to be everywhere doing everything while you're getting old and aging, right? What did you program their minds with, right? Because you're going to be living in that society when these people get older. And you're going to be existing in there. And some things you may not like, and it may be partially your fault for the things that you were programming these people with. Maybe, I don't know. I'm no expert. I'm just a podcaster. Maybe everything I'm saying is bull crap. What do I know? I don't know anything. But, in the South Park episode, they're saying that influencers are shaping minds of young people. Are they shaping them well? Are they shaping them bad? Is this true in real life? Do you have children? Do you have nephews and nieces? Are you seeing this in your real life? Are you seeing the influence on these young people? Do you like what you're seeing? Well, if you're putting out content, putting out art, change the game, change your life. That's why every time I do podcasts, I am just trying to put out the most empowering things I can put out. I want everyone who hears this podcast to do better in life. I want to wish them success. I want them to be happy and joyous and find fulfillment in life. This is one of the goals of the podcast. Doesn't matter how old you are if you hear this podcast, young, old, doesn't matter, woman, man, doesn't matter. If you hear this podcast, whoever you are, the goal is to uplift you, bro, to make you feel better, to empower you, to make you smarter, wiser, stronger, faster. More able to have awareness, more able to discern what the right choice is, more able to critical think. These are the things that the podcast is trying to do through the vehicle of movies, TV, sports, and flicks. Expanded minds. That's it. So, bro, whatever content, art you're putting out, are you expanding minds or are you shrinking them? Choice is yours. Choose. Because society will be shaped in the future by these young minds. Choose wisely. So anyways, South Park was absolutely fantastic. And seeing the episode just made me think of all these ideas. You know, I talk about Star Trek sparking ideas. South Park's the same way. I don't really talk about South Park that much on this show, but they really do tackle a lot of things going on in current society. There's been many thoughts that have been generated about society based on just seeing this show. I should talk about it more often, actually. So anyways, South Park, not suitable for children. Was funny. And also some good social commentary in there as well. So I think you should check it out. Very good. Only if you're an adult. This is only made for adults, not for kids. If you're a kid, don't watch it. If you're a grown person, watch it. So anyways, thanks for listening. And until next time, we'll see you. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Wayne Gretzky. Until next time, it's Captain Peace.
The Captain Talks Flicks.